Hi everybody, it's Lace, and it's the morning after we had our practice session for the World Series of Poker, and got some good feedback from players. I figured out some things to adjust and do differently, and the big one is what we found is when players are going around and there's no ante or no blinds or anything like that, that people would see their whole cards and pre-flop they would fold just because somebody might have gone 5 or 10 and they're like, whoa, too rich for my blood, right? So there needs to be some risk and reward with every hand. So two ways to accomplish that is one is that there's an ante, 1 to 3 chips we're thinking with 100 pool to start. So 1 to 3 chips, every player puts that in. If it's 1, that's 6 in the pot automatically. And obviously if it's 3 and there's 6 players, that's 18 in the pot, which is a pretty good chunk of change if you're starting out with 100. And then the other way is to do the blinds. So basically the way those work, if you're not familiar with all this, and I'll do it out visually and stuff when I post this on the forums, is you have somebody that is quote unquote the dealer, and the 2 players to the left, the first one to the left is the little blind, the second to the left of the dealer is the big blind. And those would be set amounts, like we could say the small blind's 2 and the big blind's 4, and then nobody else would be putting in any chips, but that 6 would always be in the pot every time the whole cards go around, and then folks can fold. So at least if everybody folds but one person, then somebody's getting the pot at least. And some money's changing hands so that the hand's not just a no action hand. So what I'll do is I'm going to put up a poll. Do you want to use an ante system or do you want to use a big blind, small blind? Me, if I was voting, just my personal thoughts, I think the ante keeps everybody involved and everybody has a stake in the hand rather than just a small blind, big blind. It does take a while to rotate around the table, and this is one of the things that wasn't in the last video. I ended up putting a statue, and for me, I was just using it to designate who the leadoff bettor was. Like that would mean that this person was the dealer, and while I'm the dealer, this statue was moving around the table to indicate, just for me to know who to whisper first, the first 2 cards, and and moving around clockwise in a circle. So probably with a blind situation, I'd be using it instead of who the first person to whisper. I'd be marking this person as the dealer. This would be my first whisper, and the cards would go around this way, from how they were dealt out. And then that would mean that this is the dealer, so that if we did the blind thing, that'd be the small, and that'd be the medium, and this is denoting the dealer. So it'd just be adjustment for me not to whisper this person first, but that person first instead. And that was something that wasn't in the rules. Last time I didn't have anything to mark it, and right before it started, I was like, I gotta mark who the quote unquote dealer is to simulate the dealer, and I was just using it to mark who to whisper first just to keep it straight in my head as I'm furiously dealing out the cards. So I'd mentioned the ante, and I was saying, well, we could, do a random number of 1 to 3 chips per person, kind of as the buy-in for that pot. But the way to make it random is, let's say if this is denoting the dealer and this is the lead-off person, whoever the quote-unquote is the dealer, even though I will be dealing physical cards, on the side, we can make it dealer's choice 1 to 3, whatever they're feeling, and that would be before they've seen their cards or anything. That would be, just expanding upon the idea of the ante and stuff. One of the other takeaways from doing the practice session is, while I had folks in Discord, it was great and I could hear them talking. I'm very busy as the dealer, dealing the cards, and then I'm sitting there and I gotta do my little ASCII thing to make the suits come out and stuff. I mean, sure, I could type spades or hearts, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I want to see it visually on the screen and stuff. So for me, talking in chat and trying to deal at the same time, it was very hard. And then my mic pooped out for some reason. It got locked in on mode, and I just had to mute it because it just wouldn't turn off. And I don't know, that was with Discord and stuff, and that was an issue. But I think it was cool to hear players talking in Discord about their hands and talking amongst themselves and stuff. So I think I'd like to have a commentator in the least who's in Discord, and as the flop comes or the turn comes or something, that they can kind of commentate on what's going on. They won't know anybody's hole cards, and for obvious reasons, I can't stream this. So maybe we could get a volunteer commentator who also wants to stream the when we get down to the real tourneys, but they could do a practice session when we're going to do one more practice session. I'll get into that as well. Oops, little jump there. But yeah, I think it would be fun to have somebody commentating. I was trying to do it in type chat, but I think it'd be cool for the folks in Discord that are either playing or not playing to have somebody commentating. So I might be looking for a volunteer for that, and Tasha Koto or two for doing that, and maybe stream it and stuff. And so players that are can't actively play, they can watch the stream or something, and kind of be engaged and involved, even though they're not one of the six at the table. And especially as we go through the qualifying rounds, other people might be wanting to listen in and watch what's going on. So maybe being in the first one, people might think, oh, this guy's a bluffer, or this guy's not a bluffer, or whatever. You can kind of scope out the competition that way. So anyway, I think I'm going to kind of ask for somebody to be a commentator slash streamer, just to, again, involve the community more, make it a little bit more fun and stuff. One of the other things that I failed to do was give a good chip count. Usually when you're sitting or watching even, a poker tourney on TV or something, you can see how many chips people have, or the size of their stack. That's something that's a little harder to represent visually in the game, and I'm keeping track of things on a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that I started out with last night wasn't perfect, and this morning I've gone back, because again, this was a practice session. It was for me to figure out how to do things a little bit better, and I've modified the spreadsheet to where I'm not doing math in my head and then writing it on the spreadsheet, because I think I screwed up I was missing 5. So I've put some checks and balances and stuff into my spreadsheet. And it's also going to allow me to quickly give a pot total, quickly give chip count totals, because players can keep track of it on their own, how many chips they had, but wow, what a pain in the butt. We want them to be engaged in the game, not on a third-party tool like a spreadsheet or something. That's my job. So I've adjusted the spreadsheet. I'm just going to give you a quick peek, because if other people were thinking about hosting something like this, down the road and stuff, I want to share what I've learned, to help make your event successful and stuff. So let me change modes here where I'm not just game capturing, and let me do a window capture here. So here's what we got, and these were some of our players last night. And Liz Rostoff from Portalarian came, and before the tourney even started, we did a few hands uh, with Ansiv and stuff, and that actually helped me before the practice. It was like the pre-practice session before the practice. But this is how I've adjusted my spreadsheet. One of the things I didn't have was, well, actually I did have it, but it wasn't, wasn't using it right. But this is just basically a sum of what the total number of chips are, and it's just a formula in the spreadsheet. And then I didn't have anything doing the pot totals sums for me. I was just looking and going, it's the pot's at 45 or the pot's at whatever. And this one's also simulating a one chip ante with the players we had. So the second that so there was everybody's ante. The first round went around, and somebody said 5, and somebody folded. Okay, second round went around, somebody said 5, and this one folded, so we had 3 left. So the pot total is 40. So I've just kind of done this on the spreadsheet where I can get a quick sum of all the action going on here. The second thing I've done is what the minus is from each player's hand, and stuff, and then what their adjusted value would be. So let's say that engineer wins this pot. Obviously, it's no chip cost to him, so I can hit 0, 0, 0, and I know that it's going to be 29 to his score, right, that we're going to add in and stuff, and so that'll be his total, and I know that these are the balances that everybody's going to have, and I can copy and paste that in to readjust their chip totals, and then, additionally, I'll have to give him, obviously, the 29, which will be, what, 144? That's the only math I'll have to do is that. So that's 144. I can take these, and I can copy them, and very quickly hit paste values, and that's the adjusted chip scores now. And of course this would all wipe out on the new hand, and I'm back to 0, and everything's cool. So that's just going to make it a little faster for me. Again, if you're trying to set this up on your own, all this is these are just sums of all the bets. These are the minuses from their betting, and then your pot total goes to your winner. You just zero them out because they didn't lose any chips because they won, and that's how it would move on. And again, I still keep a checks and balances to make sure this always equals 600 or 100 times the number of players in the game. So that's how that's going to work, and you can use this. Feel free to use this for any poker tourneys you want to have. And this is now my new adjusted thing. Live and learn. That's what the practice sessions are for, and I like this one. It's going to work pretty well, I think. The next takeaway from this was well, first off, before we did the session, I'd planned to give everybody items and they would trade me their bets. And I was concerned about the length of time that was going to take. Well, when we did the practice session, and I went out and bought 600 coconuts, okay, to like Gilligan's Island coconuts for betting. And I ended up not even using those. So if anybody wants to buy 600 coconuts cheap, let me know. But on a side note, what I did was just keeps track on a spreadsheet. It kept it moving faster rather than waiting for folks to trade, because sometimes folks are slow to bed, they're thinking about it and stuff. So that just kind of removed that time hump from it. And in addition, one of the other takeaways was that as I was dealing, I was like, okay, I'm shuffling, and I literally physically was shuffling my cards, and then having to do the ASCII codes and stuff on a WordPad doc, and then copy and whisper those to the people, or copy and say it in local and stuff. And I felt like that was going slow, and at first it was going really slow because I hadn't memorized, didn't have the muscle memory of what a heart, a spade, a club, and a diamond was on the keypad, and I made one mistake on that, but I think overall I did pretty good. But something that I thought of to make it go even faster is, we know there's going to be a maximum of 6 players, so that's 12 cards. And we know that there's 5 with the flop, the turn, and the river. So that's 17. So I've decided I will probably do pre-deals, and I'll sit there and I'll make a document of hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with 17 cards in each, and randomly shuffling, and do that all offline, and that'll speed up and allow us to play more hands, more betting, and a little bit faster action. I don't know why I just picked up my cards and started shuffling them. I don't know if you can hear that, but I don't know why I did that, but hey, I guess I'm really into the card thing. And I'm going to illustrate how this is done also with ASCII codes. So in case you want to run your own event as well, or run any kind of card, doesn't have to be poker. It could be baccarat. It could be, blackjack. It could be high-low. It could be a million different ways that you could do this. I'm going to show you how to do that real quickly in a window capture from WordPad. So this is physically what I was doing on the fly last night. I was, I had a little board set out, and I was dealing the cards and doing all this, and then having to get what each player's hand is. So this would be player 1, player 2, and I would just literally copy this text and then paste it into my whisper to player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, looking at the statue to know my order of rotation going around the table clockwise, who to whisper what to. Didn't make any mistakes on that, so that's good. I think I did do a spade over a club on one, and I think engineer called me out on that, and I had whispered him, I think, a spade, and it should have been a club. So that was my only boo-boo on that. Pre-doing this and just being able to double check it and go slow and make sure I've got everything typed right when people are not waiting on me is going to help. So if I pre-deal 17 cards, and each one's a hand, of Texas Hold'em, I can pre-do all this and then have it all ready, and we won't have to take the time for me to quote-unquote shuffle, because that'll have been all done offline, and I can deal out, I want to say we got through 15 hands last night, but going this way, I think we can get up to maybe 30 or so, so I'll probably pre-do 30. If we run through all 30, then I might have to do some on the fly. And stuff. And let's say somebody goes all in and is out of chips. It's very easy. I can just take these 2 cards because they were the next ones dealt. I can put them down in here into what would be the flop, the river, and stuff, and remove the last 2 cards. So that's how that'll be handled. Very easy. It keeps it easy for me and able to get the card data back to you guys faster than I was doing last night. Now, as for what I was going to say about teaching folks what to do is, so let's say we have king. Pardon me, a little cough there. I hate that when I do that in a video. Anyway, you're going to hit the Alt key, and you're going to make sure your num lock is turned on. I'm going to hit Alt 3, and that gives me a heart. If I hit Alt 4, that gives me a diamond. Hit Alt 5, that gives me a club, and Alt 6 gives me the spade. So you get your muscle memory on that, because I got it pretty quickly going last night. Just, from doing it ahead of time, you'll quickly know what a club, a spade it is. I diamond is 4 because, well, diamond fields, so I totally have 4 down. I sometimes was messing up on the clubs and the spades. I don't know why. But yeah, that worked out later. So that's how you can do card things in the game. You can copy and paste these into chat, and they will all display. They'll also display nicely in Discord as well. And the only thing is you can't use these keys in books that I've found. I haven't found a way to simulate the ASCII keys in books. Also, if you just try to type in local and do king alt 3, it's just going to go king question mark, because the game doesn't know how to handle those escape codes and stuff. So you have to copy and paste from a, and again, I'm just using WordPad document, and it will paste into the window and it will display to everybody. So that's how you can run your own card games, in Shroud of the Avatar and stuff like this. And again, also just going to reiterate, I will, run these hands, I'll probably label them hand 1 and run through, and do probably, I don't know, 30 at least. I'll have, oops, that was the old rules up there. I'll have it, at least 30 pre-dealt. Nobody should have any issue with that, because it's the same thing if I was doing it live. It's just I'm going to do it ahead of time. Nothing's going to change the dealers and where people sit. Nothing like I could cheat or, rig it for one person or something. Well, I suppose I could, but, I'm not going to do that. My goodness, what would be the point in that? I'm giving away money, so all would be is, me designating who got the money. If I was going to do that, I'd just give them the damn money. But anyway, so just wanted to kind of show you guys how that was being done and stuff, so you can have your own events and things like that. One other takeaway was I forgot to put the liquor on what was going to be my liquor cabinet. We had no liquor in here. The cool thing was there was lots of players sitting around with pipes and stuff, smoking, doing smoke emotes, and that was pretty cool. I think Liz Rostoff from Portalarium said, we can see the light changing through the windows, and it makes it feel like it's a 3-day card tournament. I thought that was a pretty cool comment. I think everybody kind of likes the deco. It's hopefully not too overwhelming, but I will get some liquor in here. Right here is where our books are going to be on some little wall shelves, and that's where we're going to have our fishing derby ones, and then also our poker tourney stuff will be published there as well. So this will always be the location to go see tournament winners from fishing or poker. Again, right now these books are out here, and in the chest we've got the tourney rules, and we've got the Texas Hold'em rules. We will be adjusting these rules to include either the blind system or the ante system that we go with, and a couple of the other little changes that we made and stuff. So I'll be republishing those and restocking those within the next week before the next practice session, which we're going to just do a 1 hour, because I think we did 2 hours last night, and that really just was good for the feedback. We'll do 1 hour either going with the ante or with the blinds, and I'm going to post a little forum poll for that, and you guys, how you vote, that's how we're going to do the tourney, at least the first one. Maybe if everybody ends up not liking it that way, we can go the other way for the next tourney. But that probably won't be for, 6 months or so down the road. We have a lot of recurring events that I've play tested over the years. So, we're not going to just always do poker and stuff. There's, I want the Price is Right to come back after launch. I don't know how many people attended that one, but we just had a whole house full of little things, of showcases of stuff to give away. People were bidding on those based on random questions, so everybody had a chance. They didn't have to know everything about the game. to have a shot at winning those. And that's one I want to bring back really soon. Whoa, there we went into the water. Look at me. Anyway, this is where the poker house is. It's right there. You can see the lighthouse. So, it's right near the lighthouse. And these are the zone in docks. So when you zone in, you're just going to, turn to your right and come out there. You can swim out here, or you can go up the hill and walk around the edge of the cliffs there, and then there is a path down. So you don't have to get wet to come out here, but you know me, I'll just swim and stuff. Anyway, I'll get that next practice session. It's just going to be 1 hour, and having 5 or 6 people to go through it one more time with the rule changes. That'd be great. And then we're going to start getting those 6 rounds posted, and all that's going to remain the same. Again, the only thing we're going to change is the ante system. I'm going to change how I'm dealing the cards a little bit. Put a little bit more booze deco in there and stuff. And I hope to see you guys out there. And I think everybody had fun that came out. And I'm looking forward to hosting this event full on and stuff. Take care, everybody. Happy hunting and be safe. One last addendum. We've got a really nice clear sky here in Diamond Fields, and so I just wanted to click the moon dial again to be able to show the constellations in the sky, because it's a really clear night. And this is what I love about this POT, is being able to see the constellations. Again, I just clicked this moon dial that Fiera Steele has. There's small ones, big ones, giant ones. There's astrolabe. All these things do the same thing. Let me get me out of the picture so we can see the sky better. So yeah, look at that. Isn't that just freaking amazing? I've never seen a game that does something as cool as that. Oh, look at those two. They're moving from one area. Look where they're moving to and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm spinning around looking at the sky, not watching where I'm walking. Yeah, that's a danger on these cliffs here. Don't do what I'm doing. And of course, those are all the devotionals and stuff. But isn't that cool how you can see how stuff's moving into things, and the constellations? Those two are just like hanging out side by side. And again, if you don't remember from other videos, as these planets or objects move into something, that's going to determine what Kabbalists up here and where that siege is going to happen, and or could happen. And basically, sieges happen when you have a devotional that's related to a Kabbalist, and the Kabbalist moves into a constellation and stuff. It's a little more detailed than that, and I'm not the best person to ask. People like Bowen Bloodgood and stuff are the ones to ask. But again, it was just a really clear sky, and we're just on the south shore. On our far north shore, if you had stop that, Ruff, my dog. Come on now. If you had a hold on, if you had due north, going right past the crafting pavilion, which is right up there. See the Oracle confirmatory there. If you head due north, you'll go right past the Putt-Putt Golf Course, and you'll hit the other shore on this island. And there's a giant moon dial there, and it's also a view of, like, the northern sky and stuff. So yeah, nothing to do with poker, but it was a really clear night. And lately I have been having so many cloudy nights. I just wanted to show this real quick. Anyway, now for real, happy hunting, take care, and be safe.